This is Rod Evans, and this is Mini Lecture 16, Habits. The difference between success and happiness on the one hand and failure and unhappiness on the other is largely a matter of habit. A habit is an action repeated with little or no effort or thought. Its power lies in the ease with which it is exercised, enabling people to improve their health, productivity, and quality of life without an ongoing drain on willpower. Bad habits are easy to form but hard to live with, whereas good habits are hard to form but easy to live with, especially because of their long-term cost in energy, health, productivity, achievement, and self-esteem. People with good habits are like people who live below their means, slowly building up an impressive bank balance. People with bad habits are living at or above their means, constantly threatening their energy, peace of mind, and efficacy. There are several excellent books on habit, most by well-established scholars. One wise book not by a well-established scholar is called Superhuman by Habit, written by a young man named Tynan. That author asserts that habits that you are developing are things you do, whereas old habits are things that you are. Put more concretely, there is a difference between arising early on one occasion and being an early riser, just that there is a difference between eating a healthful meal on one occasion and being a healthful eater. We can permanently improve ourselves by developing more old habits. Because each new habit taxes our willpower, we cannot effectively develop several new habits at once. In contrast, because old habits are automatic and largely unconscious, we can have numerous old habits. The trick then to effective living is to create more old good habits. As already suggested, to improve your life, you'll want to improve yourself by adding new positive habits, working to convert them to old habits and making room for more new habits. To maximize your chances for success, good health, and happiness, you'll want to think very long term. A habit's power is measured cumulatively. Exercising only once does little good, but exercising every day for years can make a big positive difference. Similarly, smoking a single cigarette isn't horrible for your health, but smoking thousands of cigarettes for years is very bad. In the morning, some people smoke a daily cigarette upon awakening, whereas others drink 16 ounces of water with lemon juice, hydrating and alkalinizing their bodies. Those two habits can make a big difference over time. The good news is that the more good habits you develop, the easier it is to develop others. People who exercise daily are more likely to eat an apple a day and to eat nutritiously. Everything affects everything else. Similarly, the more bad habits people have, the easier it is for them to develop more. On the popular TV show Dog the Bounty Hunter, nearly all the criminals the title character catches are smokers who eagerly accept the cigarettes offered to them by their captors. If you get a little bit healthier every year, you'll probably live a longer, more pleasant life. In contrast, if your habits make you a little less healthy every year, you will probably suffer from more health problems and probably die earlier than if you had better habits. Exercising with enormous vigor, but only once a month, is not very helpful and can in fact be dangerous. But exercising every day can make a big positive impact in your life. Even if you begin with small positive changes, and it is often wise to start small, you'll profit from them if you make them habitual and consistently build on them. For example, it is wise to set a goal of greatly reducing junk food before even thinking about eating a perfect diet the rest of your life. If you are doing no exercise, you can begin by walking around the block every day for a few weeks. You can then add time as you build up to at least 30 minutes a day. In short, make building your habits easy, but never miss exercising them. By failing to execute a habit, you are risking more than losing a little progress. You are threatening the cumulative benefits you've accrued from maintaining the habit. To be sure, we are imperfect and subject to unpredictable events that can disable us from exercising a habit we're developing. Consequently, we can expect to have some setbacks when trying to exercise our habits without fail. Missing 2 days of a habit can seriously threaten the maintenance of the habit because the 2 days will mean that you've lost momentum, making it easier to skip in the future. If missing the 2 days was due to weakness of will, you're not being in the mood to exercise the habit, it can shake your confidence in your ability to control yourself. Consequently, after missing a habit, you should make it a top priority to exercise the habit the next time. One way to avoid missing a habit twice is to plan your day around the habit after you have missed it once. For example, if you've decided to exercise every day after dinner and you have missed a day because you were tired, you could decide to exercise before eating dinner the following day or exercising earlier in the day. In fact, people are more likely to stick to an exercise regimen when they exercise first thing in the morning than when they exercise at night. We can distinguish giving up a habit and losing its benefits from simply putting it on pause because of factors that have a higher value at the time. Suppose you go to the gym every day, but because of an extraordinarily severe snowstorm, you are bound to your house for 5 days. You may not be able to use the weight-bearing machines at your gym, but you can do calisthenics at home, say 15 to 20 push-ups and jumping jacks, and perhaps run in place or ride an exercise bike if you have one. Once the roads are safe, you can resume your usual exercise regimen. When establishing a habit, we need to do whatever possible to act consistently. We want to minimize stress and pressure, which could undermine the goal of establishing the new habit. In evaluating your success, emphasize the process over results. More specifically, if you're trying to lose weight and you have consistently exercised and eaten properly, pride yourself on your successfully following your plan and commitment. Expecting to lose the same amount of weight every week is unrealistic, and demanding that result can frustrate you and lead to your giving up on your plan to lose weight. Remember, you have control over your behavior, but you cannot guarantee that you'll always get the results you want within a particular time frame, or that the results will be uniformly achieved. If you miss an exercise session or don't exercise for as long as you had planned, challenge yourself to do better next time. Don't say, "I'm weak and lazy." Say instead, "I'm better than this and can improve." Putting yourself down weakens your self-esteem and your ability to improve. Social scientists have stressed the importance of having a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset. People with a fixed mindset will see their abilities as incapable of much improvement and will interpret any little stumble as showing unchangeable inadequacy. In contrast, people with a growth mindset will view challenges and setbacks as opportunities to get better, knowing that the journey of self-improvement has both peaks and valleys. Just as building positive habits can motivate creating other positive habits, so negative habits can undermine our success and happiness. Some negative habits are so influential that they can make happiness and success highly unlikely. In the book Superhuman by Habit, the author, Tynan, talks about the globally disruptive habit of misusing drugs, seeking short-term stimulation at the cost of long-term goals, and associating with negative friends. Those three destructive habits are often interrelated. In other words, people can misuse drugs when they associate with friends who are involved in drugs to seek stimulation to overcome boredom. Sometimes you can overcome bad habits only if you first separate yourself from cues or triggers and influences that lead you to seek short-term pleasure while sacrificing long-term satisfaction and happiness. Sometimes we can succeed only if we remove those people and situations that derail us from being goal-oriented, productive people. In short, we need to think seriously about maintaining contact with people whose values, interests, and habits will adversely affect our ability to flourish. In other words, we need to read positive books, associate with positive people, and adopt positive role models if we are to be happy and successful. Many people who want to lose weight and eat nutritiously eat junk food at night when they watch TV. In fact, watching TV is a cue for them to get out the junk food. To maximize your chances of eating nutritiously and losing weight, it is wise to not buy junk food so that you have none to tempt you. In other words, you don't want to create unnecessary temptations. Although it is wise to eat nothing at night, and especially within 3 hours before dinner to minimize gastric reflux, you can cut off some celery sticks to snack on with water in the early evening hours. As you switch from junk food to celery sticks or nothing, regularly congratulate yourself until you have successfully replaced the junk food habit. I think the author Brian Tracy says it best: successful people are simply those with successful habits.